Tonight is the eve of Sukkot, the festival of joy. It's such a wonderful time of the year. I have a story I want to share with you. Once there was a great shortage of etrogim for Sukkot, and Rav Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev couldn't find an etrog. He sent his Hasidim to wait at the edge of the town to see if anyone traveling might have an etrog with them. The Hasidim met a Jew who had an etrog. However, he wasn't traveling to Berdichev. They asked him, let's call him Chaim. They asked Chaim to stay in Berdichev for Sukkot in order to allow Rav Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev to have the opportunity to use the etrog for a mitzvah. However, the man declined, explaining that he had been traveling far and wide for some time and that now he wanted to spend the holiday at home with his family. Unsure of what to do, they asked Chaim to visit their Rebbe, Rav Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev. Reb Chaim went to Rav Levi Yitzchak, and he said to him, I promise you that in exchange for staying, you will be with me in my place in heaven. When the stranger heard this promise from the holy tzaddik, from this holy rabbi, he agreed to stay for Sukkot. He settled in an inn, and the entire town of Berdichev was happy. The first night of Sukkot arrived, and Chaim went to the local synagogue. He was sure everyone would welcome him as a guest for dinner. But to his surprise, to his amazement, no one did. He returned to his room at the inn to find a challah, wine, and dinner waiting for him on the dresser. What is this? He thought. How could they think I would eat anywhere but in a sukkah tonight? It's the first night of Sukkot. He went down to the innkeeper's sukkah. The innkeeper looks at him and he says, I'm sorry, Chaim, but I'm unable to invite you here. Didn't you see I left you a plate of food? But it's Sukkot. I need to eat in a sukkah. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Chaim. He went to the neighbors and asked their permission to enter their sukkah, but they refused him entry as well, as did every single sukkah in the town that he tried. He understood that something was wrong, and after questioning them, they admitted that Rabbi Levi Yitzchak had commanded them not to let him into their sukkahs. Now this Chaim was frustrated. He ran to Rav Levi Yitzchak and he asked him, why have you repaid me like this for the kindness that I did for you? I stayed here for you so you can make a blessing on my etrog. Rav Levi Yitzchak looked up from his chair and he said, if you give up the promise I made to you to be with me in heaven, I will allow you to enter the sukkah. This inner battle raged within this Chaim. What should he do? He finally decided to forgive Rav Levi Yitzchak of his promise to him about getting a place right next to him in heaven, as long as the rabbi would allow him to fulfill the mitzvah of Sukkot with joy. The next day, Rav Levi Yitzchak invited the guests to his own personal sukkah and explained his odd behavior. He said, I wanted you to withstand this test so that you should acquire the portion yourself and be worthy of my promise rather than having received it as a gift. Now, I once again promise you that you shall be together with me in my portion in heaven. I know I've talked about this before, but I'll say it again. God gave us 613 ways of connecting to Him. Every single mitzvah is a way that we can connect to God. Every mitzvah that we do with joy is a way that we can really open the portal of heaven, open the gates of heaven in a way that we never have before. But there's one unique mitzvah. It's the mitzvah of sitting in the sukkah. You see, there are some mitzvahs that we do with our hands, and some we do with our mouth, and some with our nose, and some with our eyes. But there's only two mitzvot that we do with our entire body. One is the mitzvah of going to the mikvah, and the other one is the mitzvah of sitting in the sukkah. When you enter the sukkah, your entire body becomes one with the mitzvah. Every facet of your being, your heart, your mind, your inner, your outer, the layers of your soul, the layers of your being, they all become one with the mitzvah of Sukkot. I urge you to find the sukkah. If you don't have a sukkah yourself, find someone else's sukkah. You're welcome in my sukkah. Tonight and tomorrow is a very special time to sit in the sukkah even for 5 minutes and make a bracha there and thank God for all the joy in your life. I'm Rabbi Yisrael Bernath. I wish you a very happy and healthy Sukkot.